Streaming live on News8000.com. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
A good Tuesday morning to you. I'm Jordan Fremstad. This morning on News 8 Now, a look at how the city of La Crosse plans to address its lack of affordable housing.
And I'm meteorologist Eric Dean. We have a clean sweep on the radar scan, and this is going to get a break for a few days, but rain chances are in the forecast. We'll talk about that later on.
And Minnesota nurses go on strike in one of the largest private sector strikes in U.S. history. It is Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. We've got all the news, weather, and buzz you need to plan out your morning coming up. But first, here is your Tuesday morning eye-opener.
Providing that gap funding in the form of a purchased building already, we make it easier for developers to get into this because they know that they will have a reasonable return on investment.
We want assurance in our contract that if a nurse says that their patient assignment is unsafe, that we are not disciplined. We've had nurses that have been sent home for refusing an unsafe assignment.
Next up for the Packers, they'll be in Green Bay for their home opener against the Bears for Sunday Night Football.
The Midwest humidity isn't kind to those cone-shaped flowers that flavor our favorite beers. A challenging climate is a barrier to business and why most are grown in the Pacific Northwest.
We've got plenty to talk about here on a Tuesday morning. Let's talk about Eric Dean joining the Dark and Early show. Once again, welcome back.
We meet again, Mr. Fremstad.
A little vacation for you. You got a little break?
A little bit. Went to my brother's wedding over the weekend and got called a middle-aged man by my son. So that's even better. If that's bad, Monday I turned another year older. So there you go.
And now you're back in the morning, getting up early.
Yes,
oh, comedy of errors.
Tell you what else we can enjoy. This weather today, it's gorgeous. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s. We're going to have sunny skies. You just got to get past the peskiness known as the fog that's going to be in play for the next couple of hours. You can see it there on our city cam. It's 49. Dew point's 49. You know what that means? Yep, look at the city cam. Low visibility. You have a calm wind out there. So again, overall, just 49 across the board. Humidity, we're fully saturated at 100%. Temperatures right now in the 40s and 50s. One exception to that rule, that's Black River Falls. Good morning to you guys. You're at 37 degrees. At the bus stop, as you get the kiddos ready for school, we'll see temperatures hovering right around 54 degrees with mostly sunny skies by the afternoon hour. We'll see temperatures going into the mid to upper 70s. Now, Jordan, coming up in the first alert forecast, we're going to talk about sunny skies. We're going to talk about rain. We're going to talk about 80s, 70s, a little bit of everything almost. And that's coming up later on in the newscast. Over to you.
Good variety. All right. Thanks a lot, Eric. Well, the city of La Crosse is taking new steps to address its lack of affordable housing. This week, the city committee will discuss a proposal to buy a north side building and renovate it into roughly 30 affordable housing units. News 8 Now's Rob Romano leads us off this morning, taking a look at the cost and who will call it home.
The property at 811 Monitor Street could soon be the home of more than 30 affordable housing units, pending a city council vote next month.
We have a lack of affordable housing in the city of La Crosse, and I would say in general there's a lack of affordable housing available almost anywhere.
Mayor Mitch Reynolds supports the potential project. A city spokesperson says that if the project is approved, construction would begin in the spring.
Providing that gap funding in the form of a purchased building already, we make it easier for developers to get into this because they know that they will have a reasonable return on investment even if it is affordable housing.
The city says the building's purpose is not to house the unsheltered. Here is what Mayor Reynolds had to say about the issue of homelessness in part.
There's been a lot of work that's been done in this community over many, many years. And, you know, in truth, we haven't made a ton of progress over many years and have started to see some progress just recently. And I credit, frankly, the city's leadership role in this.
The city is still trying to figure out what to do with the population at Huska Park before October 31st when it closes. Brian Sampson, the city's homeless services coordinator, says local organizations are trying to help on a person-by-person basis.
The service providers in our community have done a wonderful job of partnering with people who are staying down there and trying to find unique solutions to each person's situation. If you've met one person experiencing homelessness, then you've met one person experiencing homelessness, and we really need to find all of those unique solutions.
In La Crosse, Rob Romano, News 8 Now.
At least 140 people in the city of La Crosse are living unsheltered, and according to the U.S. Census Bureau, in just the next 2 months, 3.5 million renters are expected to be evicted. Well, La Crosse Mayor Mitch Reynolds says he will not veto the city's new conversion therapy ban. Now, conversion therapy is a controversial practice of changing a person's sexuality or gender identity. Last week, the city council voted to approve an updated version of the ban. It only applies to state or federally licensed medical or mental health professionals practicing the therapy on anyone under 18. The Save Your Rights Coalition of La Crosse sent a letter to the mayor warning the city will face a lawsuit if he does not veto it. The mayor plans to sign it, and once that happens and it's published, the ban will be enforceable. The Onalaska School District has launched a new website for parents and faculty to view referendum information. The website contains up-to-date information on the needs of the district's facilities and operations. The district will also host a community engagement session at both Onalaska Middle and High School. We have more information about those meetings at news8000.com. Well, for many veterans of the Vietnam War, there was no welcome home, and that changed for a group from western Wisconsin. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen was the only reporter invited to join them on the most recent Freedom Honor flight to Washington, D.C., and as Emily found out, it is never too late to say thank you.
A cold fall morning couldn't contain the excitement of veterans preparing to take the trip of a lifetime.
I think it's very meaningful to this group especially.
The 27th Freedom Honor Flight gave this group of 99 a chance to be welcomed home, some for the first time.
Excited and emotional.
An overdue welcome, something Vietnam veterans Alice Holstein and Kathy Nelson know too well.
When I came home, I didn't even want to wear my uniform or even admit that I'd been in the service.
Both women remember parts of their service and the time after as lonely. 99 veterans were greeted with a celebration when they touched down in the nation's capital. A chance to tour the monuments that honor their service and the service of those before them.
My father was in a engineer battalion.
For Alice, it brought back memories.
Before I came as a tourist.
And pride.
Now I come as a member of something much larger than myself.
At the Vietnam Wall, families came together to see names etched from the past.
We'll never see anything like this again, you know.
And for the two women on the trip, a chance to view a memorial dedicated to them.
It brings back memories of a hard time in my life of sadness.
The Vietnam Women's Memorial.
There's beauty and grace and enormous sorrow. It justifies me that what I did was worth something. And so it means a lot.
The plane ride carried veterans home in more ways than one.
Alice Holstein.
Each gifted with letters many should have received the first time they traveled home from war.
Paul Nelson.
When the plane touched down back in La Crosse,
people stop you and say thank you for your service. That means so much.
The veterans finally received what they earned.
It's a day that I will remember for the rest of my life as a high point.
Kathy and Alice, first united in service.
Beyond words.
Now bonded with a welcome home.
So deserved. Veterans on the Freedom Honor flight did not pay a dime. Organizers raise money year-round to take them on the trip. If you are interested in helping out, we have information for you at news8000.com. A La Crosse Oktoberfest tradition will return to inspire ladies and gents. The Oktoberfest Ladies' Day Luncheon is the annual finale for Oktoberfest and invites both women and men to an afternoon of food and fun. Mrs. Oktoberfests from past years host the event. This year's luncheon will take place in the Waterfront's Cargill Room. Organizers say the event creates a sense of community.
This event I've been going for many, many years, and it's just fun. You walk away and you just feel inspired and happy.
You can get your tickets in advance on the Oktoberfest website or by calling the Fest office. We have all that information at news8000.com. Still to come on your Tuesday morning news, how droughts and higher temperatures could affect barley crops, resulting in beer shortages. And the sports franchise named after those who make that beer, the Brewers, trail the wild card spot by 2 games with 21 games left in the season. Our very own Kate Overton tells us about their chances. With that in mind, we are sending you to break with something to put the good in your Tuesday morning. The nation's first multi-story 3D printed home is under construction in Texas. You can see it there. The structure combines 3D printing with wood framing. The 3D printing company says the project is focused on determining the cost and time impact compared to regular building. The final product is expected to be a 4,000 square foot home. It is 10 after the hour on this Tuesday. Your latest forecast is just ahead here on News 8 Now this morning.
All right, as you step outside this morning, temperatures are in the 40s and 50s. Black River Falls, though, you're seeing that temperature of 39. We're sitting at a half 100 right now at the airport. Same story at the TV station. Feels like 50. Our dew point's at 49. You know what that means? Right there's your camera. Low visibility is in play. We have a clean sweep on the radar scan. This is going to get a break. So here's a look at your dog walking forecast. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies this morning. By the afternoon and evening hours, we'll see abundant sunshine. Definitely get out and enjoy the dog. Go enjoy the outdoors, I should say, with your dog. Jordan, over to you.
Ford is recalling 2 of its most popular SUVs. The automaker recalled 200,000 Ford Expeditions and Lincoln Navigators. The models being recalled were built in 2015 and 2017 after learning their heating and cooling fan motors can catch on fire. Ford has started to reach out to owners for free repairs. Burger King is getting a $400 million upgrade after following behind competitors for the last few years. Executives are hoping a major investment in rebranding will strengthen the brand and spark new growth. Burger King will remodel and modernize roughly 800 restaurants and has already changed its logo, packaging, signage, and uniforms. Automotive research company Kelley Blue Book says the average price Americans paid for a new vehicle in August hit a record high of $48,301. That is the 5th consecutive month car prices rose to record highs. Strong demand and low inventories are driving the rise. Droughts and high temperatures could affect barley crops enough to cause beer shortages, and the Midwest humidity isn't the kindest. It can be challenging for brewers, but they say that challenge is well worth it.
At his quaint farm in Stillwater, owner John Brock
Do everything guy at Stonehill Farm.
isn't growing any ordinary crop.
We looked at grapes, we looked at U-pick berry operations, that sort of thing. But I like to drink beer.
His passion for a pint led to his hop growing hobby.
Part of retirement for me was to learn something new every day, and I still am learning something new all the time about hops.
But the Midwest humidity isn't kind to those cone-shaped flowers that flavor our favorite beers. A challenging climate is a barrier to business and why most are grown in the Pacific Northwest, which is more hospitable to hops.
With our humid climate, there's mildews there's downy mildew and powdery mildews that attack hops. Yeah, those diseases can be devastating.
This hop yard is just 0.6 of an acre. That's about all Brock and his wife say that they can handle, but a slice of it is on loan to the University of Minnesota.
Enter Joshua Havel, a PhD student who's trying to pinpoint hop varieties that can stave off those diseases. He can identify favorable traits and crossbreed them in an effort to make them more resilient to our climate and still taste good.
And I thought it might be a really cool crop, especially because of the invigoration of the craft beer industry in Minnesota. And so I thought, heck, I'll give it a try.
He says in 5 years of study, they've discovered some promising selections that could contribute to what he calls an upper Midwest hop growing production renaissance.
I would guess within the next 1 to 2, maybe 3 years, we'll have University of Minnesota hop variety.
The lab is this greenhouse in St. Paul with hundreds of different plants. Here on campus and at Brock's Farm in Stillwater, the real-life simulation.
A plant can respond differently to different growing environments, and so having it tested across multiple locations under different conditions is extremely useful.
Brock's Hop Yard produces enough hops for 16,000 gallons of beer. You can find that beer on tap at Pitchfork Brewing across the river in Hudson, which buys all of his hops.
I think the flavor that you get from them is a little better than getting everything mass-produced far away.
Co-owner Mike Fredrickson says you can't put a price on the connection to the local crop.
There's a relationship, from John's hop farm, we have a lot of his neighbors that come in here because they know that the hops are growing there, and they come to, try the beers that I'll put together with them.
A relationship he wishes other brewers in Minnesota and Wisconsin could have too. Brock is hopeful that the hops at the U can make that happen.
Increasing temperatures and more frequent droughts will drive up the costs of beer ingredients such as hops and barley. However, the impacts they identified are just the foam on the surface. The taste of beer will change too.
Numbers from yesterday made it to 75 after a morning start at 54. That's 77 and 56. Underneath these numbers is where we should be for this time of year. 92 is the record high set back in 1908. Now, the reason why I'm showing this is this number right here. We're already at 3/300ths of an inch below normal for the year. We're sitting at 3.32 inches below normal. For the year, for the month, I should say, we're sitting at 3/300ths of an inch. Now, here's a look at your 3D sky tracker for today. Starting at 6 o'clock, we'll see temperatures hovering in the upper 40s, low 50s, which is where we are right now. By the 8 o'clock hour, going to 53 degrees with partly cloudy skies. By noon, we'll see temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. As we go into the afternoon and early evening hours, we'll stay in the mid to upper 70s. By the 9 o'clock hour, going into the 10 o'clock hour, we'll see temperatures right around 64, 65 degrees with a light south-southwesterly wind. Outside right now, look at Black River Falls. You guys are at 36 degrees, 10 warmer in Marshfield, 44 is the current temperature in Sparta, 50 in La Crosse, 46 in Winona, 45 in Red Wing, 50 in Rochester. Decorah, good morning to you guys. You're at 48, 49 is the temperature in Prairie du Chien. The temperature and the dew point, practically the same number, so that's why we had that low visibility across the area. So again, allow yourself extra time to get from point A to point B. And you can see on the visibility map right here, low visibility towards Sparta, as well as Boscobel, Prairie du Chien, anywhere between half-mile visibility to a quarter-of-a-mile visibility, half-mile visibility towards the Wisconsin Rapids area. La Crosse says 10-mile visibility. I'm not buying that. Earlier, it was showing 2 to 3 mile visibility, and that's what I'm going to stick with at this hour. Now, in terms of the dew point for today, we're going to see it hovering in that 50 to 55 degree category. So overall, a gorgeous day across the Coulee region. There's the clean sweep on the radar scan. We can give this a break for today, going into tomorrow as well as Thursday. It's when we get into Friday in the afternoon and early evening hours that rain chances will start to pick up. So again, sunny skies for today, a little bit of cloud cover in the evening and overnight hours. To start your Wednesday, we'll see a little bit of cloud cover as well. For today, there you go. Temperatures in the 70s from top to bottom. First alert forecast here in La Crosse will go to about 79 degrees with patchy fog. Otherwise, sun, and more sun with winds out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Allergy forecast shows ragweed and weeds staying in the medium category for today, low category for tomorrow. The mold, high today, high tomorrow. The balance of your 8 days shows temperatures going into the 80s for Thursday. Precip chances pick up Friday night going into Saturday. Sunday, we go to 79 degrees, low 80s from Monday and Tuesday. The long-range outlook, we'll use this as the 10-second takeaway. Above normal for the next 6 to 10 days in terms of temperature and precip. For the 8 to 14, above normal for temperatures, but near normal in terms of precipitation. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes, but first, here's a look at this day in history. As you head out the door, we are seeing a little bit of fog across the area, so please allow yourself an extra couple minutes to get to your destination. You can see right there on CityCam that fog starting to pick up here in La Crosse. Outside right now, look at Black River Falls. Good morning to you guys. 36 degrees. Sparta's at 44, 50 in La Crosse, 49 Viroqua, as well as Prairie du Chien. 48 is the temperature in Decorah. The radar scan showing a clean sweep across the area as high pressure is in control. It's going to stay in control for the next couple days. But now we're talking rain chances. We'll talk about that coming up later on in the newscast. That does it for weather. Hey, Kate Overton, take it away, buddy.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. I'm sure a lot of you are still worried about the Packers after their loss to the Vikings over the weekend, but I wouldn't hit the panic button just yet. Remember, they also had an extremely slow start last season as well, and everything turned out fine. For the Vikings, they show that they could be a legitimate contender in the NFC. On paper, the Vikings offense has a lot of playmakers, and with a new coach in Kevin O'Connell, they have a chance to light up a lot of defenses throughout the season, and it showed on Sunday when Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson hooked up 9 times for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. But why didn't the Packers do more to stop it?
Yeah, if you want to change the structure of your defense, I mean, you could certainly do that. You know, when you have a premier player like that has the versatility and the routability to run many different routes, you know, that's a huge advantage for an offense. And then, not to mention, you got to worry about Thielen and then Dalvin Cook. And I'm not trying to make excuses. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Well, they're going to have a chance to cover him a little better when they face off against the Vikings again later in January. But next up for the Packers, they'll be in Green Bay for their home opener against the Bears for Sunday Night Football. And for the Vikings, they're traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles for Monday Night Football. We'll have more Week 2 coverage later this week. And the Brewers had yesterday off, but they're back at it later today for a 2-game series against the Cardinals. The Brewers are on the outside of the playoff picture and need to start winning as there are just 21 games left in the season and they trail that wild card spot by 2 games. That's all I've got for this morning, but we'll have plenty more later this evening. We'll be right back.
Breaking overnight, King Charles III was joined by his siblings, Prince Andrew and Edward and Princess Anne, as they briefly held a vigil around Queen Elizabeth's coffin on Monday evening. The royal family mounted their guard of the coffin at St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh, where it will lie until this evening. The cathedral will remain open to the public until later today. In a video address on Monday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky revealed that Ukrainian forces had retaken 2,400 square miles of Russian-held territory. Ukraine's chief commander said on Sunday his troops had retaken more than 1,100 square miles this month as thousands of Russian troops pulled back following Ukraine's gains, leaving behind ammunition and equipment. 2 people, including a Toronto police officer, were killed in a pair of shootings that prompted an active shooter alert in Ontario on Monday. The officer was there for a training exercise. A short time later, 3 more people were shot in a separate incident. 2 victims were hospitalized and 1 was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect was later shot and killed. Authorities have not said what led up to the shootings. A Blue Origin rocket experienced a booster failure during an unmanned launch of its new Shepard rocket from West Texas. It triggered an abort system, which the capsule separated from the rocket and parachuted to Earth. The Federal Aviation Administration said it looked into the mishap. This is the first major failure of the Blue Origin since its transition to routine commercial flights. Thousands of nurses across Minnesota are now on strike. It is believed to be the largest private sector nurses strike in U.S. history. The nurses want to see higher staffing levels and higher pay. Esme Murphy has more.
There is an enormous gap in what the nurses want and what the hospitals are offering. The nurses are asking for a 30% pay increase over 3 years. The hospitals are offering 12% over 3 years. Nurses say they would be willing to come down on pay if hospitals agree to their most important demand, better staffing.
We want assurance in our contract that if a nurse says that their patient assignment is unsafe, that we are not disciplined. We've had nurses that have been sent home for refusing an unsafe assignment.
These young nurses on the picket line agree current staffing is not safe for nurses or patients. You feel sometimes you're in situations that aren't safe for your patients?
Yes, I would say that since the pandemic, it's highlighted a lot of issues that we've had in terms of unsafe staffing.
Nurses say adding to their clout with this strike is the fact that nurses at 3 Duluth hospitals have also walked out. Hospitals that have traditionally not only served the Duluth area, but much of northeastern Minnesota as well. The hospitals say the nurses' demands are unrealistic. They point to recent big losses in revenue. mHealth Fairview lost $163 million in the first half of this year. Allina, in that same period, lost $74 million. Hospitals say rising inflation, the pandemic, and the increasing cost of providing care for the uninsured and underinsured have all battered their bottom lines. Nurses push back, though, by pointing to continued multi-million-dollar salaries for hospital CEOs.
Now, this strike is set to end Thursday at 7 a.m. If there is no agreement by then the negotiations are expected to continue. Well, across the river here in Wisconsin, it's a different story. The potential Wisconsin nursing strike is over. Governor Tony Evers and UW Health leaders announced on Monday they have reached an agreement with the Services Employees Internation Union. Governor Evers says it was important to come to an agreement both parties were happy with in order to strengthen the connection between workers and management. He said it is also important for both sides to meet in person so everyone could express their ideas and opinions. Police say a man who took his own life in Madison on Sunday was the suspect in his wife's murder earlier that day. They are now trying to figure out what led up to that tragedy. McKenna Alexander has the story.
It was apparent to officers on the scene that the victim had been violently, physically attacked.
An attack that ended with one woman dead on Madison's west side Sunday afternoon, but far from the end of the case. Monday morning, Police Chief Sean Barnes laid out a wild and tragic series of events that ended in another death. It began around at 3:15 Sunday afternoon. Police received a call reporting someone was dead in a home on Darien Circle, which is just off High Point Road. Police note that caller was not on the scene. Responding officers found a woman in her 40s dead inside the home. As police tried to find that woman's husband, another call came in, this time at 3:27 p.m. That report was of a man getting out of his car on the Beltline near Old Sauk Road. Another car hit the man, but he was able to get back in his own car and drive off. A third and final call came in at 3:47 p.m., reporting that same man had once again gotten out of his vehicle before running into traffic, where he was hit and killed by a semi-truck.
The man who was struck in traffic was identified as the husband of the deceased.
Chief Barnes says prior to Sunday, officers had never been called to the home on Darien Circle. Still, police view what happened inside this home needs to be addressed.
Domestic violence continues to be an issue that plagues our community, even though it remains sometimes hidden.
The couple's identities have not been released while authorities tell the family it is being investigated as a murder-suicide. Prices at the pump continue to fall. The national average is now $3.72 a gallon. Wisconsin is one of 18 states where the price has fallen below $3.49.
That means Wisconsin families with 2 cars are saving on average $140 a month. And again, that's important. That's important breathing room. And the president is committed to continue to deliver for the people of Wisconsin.
Over the past 90 days, prices have declined $1.30 per gallon. The White House says that is the fastest drop in over a decade. President Biden is making another push for his cancer moonshot, which he hopes will end cancer as we know it. In his words, the president issued a call to action to the private sector to develop and test new treatments and make them more affordable. President Biden first launched his initiative during his 2016 vice presidency after his son Beau died of brain cancer. Democratic Governor Tony Evers and Republican challenger Tim Michels have agreed to a debate for just one time that will take place on Friday, October 14th, and it will be broadcast statewide. The Wisconsin Broadcasters Association is hosting the debate. Our very own News 8 Now's Amy DuPont will be one of those panelists. Wisconsin's 3rd congressional district candidate Brad Pfaff is challenging his opponent to a debate. The Democrat made the challenge in front of the La Crosse County Courthouse on Monday, calling on Republican Derek Van Orden to join him for a debate in La Crosse, Eau Claire, and Stevens Point. Pfaff says it's important for district voters to hold candidates accountable by hearing how candidates will address certain issues like lowering costs for families, helping farmers, and addressing women's health.
And I think it's long past time that the voters of this district hear directly, and the media in this district hear directly from Derek Van Orden, where he stands on these issues and many other issues that impact the day-to-day lives of the people in this district, and move away from the ideology and the partisan talking points that he and his team receive from the National Committee.
Van Orden's campaign manager tells News 8 Now they have not heard anything from Pfaff's campaign. In an official statement, Van Orden says that Pfaff's campaign is floundering and that he'll gladly put his 26 years of Navy SEAL to use.
Start the day with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Black River Falls, you're sitting at 36 degrees. We're at 52 degrees right now. Here in La Crosse, it feels like 52. We're at 50 at the TV station with a calm wind. Take a look at the temperatures across the area. And as I mentioned, Black River Falls, actually, you're 1 degree warmer now. You're sitting at 37 degrees. 44 is the current temperature in Sparta, 49 in Viroqua, 52 in La Crosse, 50 is the current temperature in Eau Claire, 46 in Winona, 48 is the temperature in Decorah. So the radar scan, we have a clean sweep across the area. This is going to get a break for the next couple of days. So the lawn mowing forecast for today, we'll see temperatures going into the upper 40s, low 50s by 7 a.m. We'll go to 68 by the 11 o'clock hour, 78 by the 3 o'clock hour. Now, Jordan, coming up in the next check of weather, we're going to talk about rain chances. We're going to talk about temperatures staying right around normal. So that's something you definitely don't want to miss. And we'll talk about that later on. Over to you.
That sounds good, Eric. Well, coming up in the buzz this morning, the Emmys brought some big wins with many wins and surprises in store. We'll fill you in on what those are in the buzz just ahead here on News 8 Now this morning.
All right, we are seeing a foggy start to your Tuesday. Some places seeing between no visibility to quarter to half-mile visibility. And don't forget, for weather anytime, day or night, you can download that free News 8000 First Alert Weather app. That is a free app on the App and Play Store. Outside right now, we're seeing a temperature of 52 degrees. Humidity is sitting at 97%. We have a nice calm wind out there. As we take a look here at the next several hours, we see temperatures hovering in the low 50s by the 8 o'clock hour, going to 63 by 10 a.m. By the noontime, you'll see temperatures right around 74 degrees. We take a look here at the next 8 days, and I want to draw your attention to the weekend because we had that 20% chance of rain on Friday. Same story Saturday, then the precip chances really ramp up as we go into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. The disclaimer on this rain chance is going to be Friday night going into Saturday morning, and then on and off Sunday, and then on and off Monday, then again Tuesday night. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the radar scan right now, and I want to draw your attention to the Cooley region because we have a clean sweep across the entire area, and this is going to get a break as we go into the next several days. And again, all this you can find anytime, day or night, on the free News 8000 First Alert Weather app. Temperatures across the area right now in the 40s and 50s, one exception to the rule. That's Black River Falls. Good morning to you guys. You're seeing that temperature of 37 degrees. 44 is the current temperature in Sparta, 52 in La Crosse, 50 in Eau Claire, 46 Winona, 48 in Decorah, as well as Prairie du Chien. So here's the dew point, that temperature and dew point. When you start to get those numbers close together, especially towards the Black River Falls area, you know what that means, little to no visibility. So like I've been preaching the past couple of days, allow yourself extra time to get from point A to point B should you have to travel to any type of destination. Now visibility, it says 10-mile visibility here in La Crosse. Just put a big X over that. I'm not buying that one bit. 0.3 of a mile in Sparta, I do buy that. Same story in Boscobel, I buy that. Low visibility in Prairie du Chien, I do buy that. And then Eau Claire, 9-mile visibility, you guys are starting to clear out. So here's Sky Tracker for today. We'll start the day off with sunny skies after that fog pushes its way out of here. Cloud cover will start to pick up as we go into your evening and overnight hours, and that trend will continue for your Wednesday morning going into the afternoon hours. Today we'll see temperatures much like yesterday in the 70s. The Dells, they were in the 50s yesterday. They're going to make it to 75 degrees. Here's a look at the balance of the 8-day forecast. We'll see temperatures going into the low 80s for Thursday as well as Friday. Rain chances pick up Friday night going into Saturday morning, and then again on and off Sunday, on and off Monday, on and off Tuesday. Real quick, your allergy forecast. If you are sniffling and sneezing, the weeds, the ragweed, those are on the medium side today. They'll be on the low side tomorrow. And then mold today and tomorrow will be on the high end. So the bottom line, Jordan, if you're an allergy sufferer, and golly, I feel you there, the good news is they are going to start going down a little bit.
It's the one bright spot about the winter in the Midwest. Everything dies, and so do your allergies. So there you go. In the Buzz Report this morning, Monday night was television's biggest night, the 74th Primetime Emmy Awards. As usual, there were some expected winners, a few surprises, and more than one feel-good moment. This year's Emmys had some big winners, none bigger than The White Lotus, which led the way with 5 wins. The night's biggest nominee, Succession, won Outstanding Drama Series for the second time with a record of 14 acting nominations. Fashion Week is in full swing in New York City. The late pop icon Andy Warhol figured clearly in Tommy Hilfiger's show, Tommy Factory. Hilfiger presented a new monogram while showing off a new collection of gender-neutral styles. This year's Fall Fashion Week features more than 100 events. And the coming-of-age film The Fabelmans is loosely based on director Steven Spielberg's life. It follows wishful filmmaker Sammy Fabelman, who discovers a shattering family secret and uses the power of film to help him find the truth. The movie stars Michelle Williams, Paul Dano, and Seth Rogen. The Fabelmans is set for release on November 23rd. With that in mind, we have one person that gets all the spotlight to herself this morning.
Yes, we do. Happy 8th birthday to Bethany. This happy second grader loves to ride her bike, play outside. Hey, gorgeous day to do that, by the way, 70s today, with her little brother, and enjoy a mustard toast for a snack. You enjoy that mustard toast.
Happy birthday, Bethany. You're the star of the show this morning. If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 80 years old, or 88 years old soon, we would love to feature them.
Hey, do us a favor. Upload their photo to our website, news8000.com. Just look for that Submit Pictures button under the Home tab of our website.
Well, we hope you can stay with us this morning. We've got everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next.
Ahead on CBS Mornings, actor Ryan Reynolds is getting personal, doing something he's never done before. First on CBS Mornings, we'll show you what that is. That's a tease. And Jan Winter, co-founder of Rolling Stone magazine, is in studio to discuss his new memoir where he takes us inside the iconic company he ran for more than half a century. Let's just say Jan got lots of stories. An Emmy award-winning actress and comedian, there she is, Rosie O'Donnell, will also be here. She'll talk about her latest role as a detective in the new series, American Gigolo. All that, and Oprah is going to reveal her latest pick for her book club. She likes this one, too. We'll see you at 7 o'clock on the dot.
Your Morning News Now on this Tuesday. The city of La Crosse is taking a new step to address its lack of affordable housing. This week, a city committee will discuss a proposal to buy a north side building and renovate it into roughly 30 affordable housing units. Mayor Mitch Reynolds supports the potential project. The city spokesperson says that if the project is approved, construction would begin in the spring.
We have just a lack of, well, we have a lack of housing in general, but certainly a lack of affordable housing, and we're stepping into the gap to try to see what we can do to add housing just, in those, just so that it's affordable rent.
At least 140 people in the city of La Crosse are living unsheltered. And according to the U.S. Census Bureau, in just the next 2 months, 3.5 million renters are expected to be evicted. Thousands of nurses in St. Paul, Minnesota began a 3-day strike after failed contract negotiations. Over 15,000 nurses from the Twin Cities and Duluth areas began the strike early Monday. Due to the number of nurses on strike, replacement nurses had to be brought in to help meet the need for hospitals.
We're so short-staffed in that hospital on a daily basis. We didn't see how it would be possible for us to be able to do this. We really thought that management would have a good faith effort and negotiate with us, and that's just not what we saw.
Strike chants were followed by picket signs outside area hospitals. Hospitals offered a 10 to 12% wage increase, but nurses are seeking an increase of more than 30%. Although many nurses believe the strike would be risky, they are still proud of taking this big step for all nurses.
Today is historic. 15,000 nurses out in the largest nurses strike in American history. However, we are not out here to make history. We are here to pave the way for the future of nursing and healthcare.
Hospital leaders have called the wage demands unaffordable. Nurses have stated that they will picket outside the hospitals throughout the duration of the strike. Across the river, it's a different story. The potential Wisconsin nursing strike is over. Governor Tony Evers and UW health leaders announced Monday they've reached an agreement with their Service Employees Internation Union. Governor Evers says it was important to come to an agreement both parties were happy with in order to strengthen the connection between workers and management. He also said it was important for both sides to meet in person so everyone could express their ideas and opinions.
All right, here's a look at the first alert forecast for today. We'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. We'll see plenty of sunshine after we get rid of the pesky fog first. Winds will be out of the west at around 5 to 10 miles per hour tonight. We go to 51 degrees with mostly clear skies.
Onalaska school district leaders have launched a new website for parents and faculty to review referendum information. The website contains up-to-date information on the needs of the district's facilities and operations. The district will also host community engagement sessions at Onalaska Middle and High School. We'll post information for those meetings at news8000.com. A La Crosse Oktoberfest tradition will return to inspire ladies and gents. The Oktoberfest Ladies' Day Luncheon is the annual finale for Oktoberfest and invites both women and men to an afternoon of food and fun. Mrs. Oktoberfests from past years host the event. This year's luncheon will take place in the waterfront's Cargill Room. Organizers say the event creates a sense of community.
This event, I've been going for many, many years, and it's just fun. You walk away and you just feel inspired and happy.
You can get tickets in advance on the Oktoberfest website or by calling the Fest office. We've got all that contact information at news8000.com.
All right, let's wrap it up, shall we? Temperatures in the upper 70s today and tomorrow. We go into the 80s Thursday and Friday. Rain chances pick up Friday night going into Saturday morning. You'll see that front push its way through, dropping the temperatures again for the weekend. And then the rain chances continue Monday going into Tuesday.
Never fails. We're stuck at work all week when it's sunny. Yeah. And the weekend comes and there's the rain.
Yeah.
No surprises, Eric.
Not at all.
Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day at news8000.com. We'll have the latest coming up for you this afternoon on News 8 Now at noon, and our evening crew takes over at 5, 6, and 10. CBS Mornings follows us here. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 5 a.m. We hope you have a great day.